Welcome back. The holiday season can be a time of joy and celebration, but it can also bring stress and anxiety for many. What if the foods you eat could make the difference between a season of calm or chaos? From fiber rich fruits and vegetables to omega 3 packed fish, the connection between diet and mental health is more powerful than ever. Joining us now is the author of Calm Your Mind with Food, Dr. Naidoo. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me.
And thank you, Kibin. Thanks for having me.
Now, what inspired your focus on the connection between food and mental health?
I just felt that it was a missing link because we were talking about medications that we are prescribing, which are very important and life saving for many, but they also come with side effects. So, why not also talk about your lifestyle, your sleep, your hydration, your activity and exercise, as well as what you eat, which is a foundation. And when our nutrition is poor, it can lead to many different diseases, both in mental health, physical health, and so much more.
Now, how does inflammation impact anxiety and depression, and what role does food play in reducing it?
So inflammation, we're talking about the inflammation in organs like the gut microbiome, where, if we're eating a diet of ultra processed foods and junk foods and fast foods and candy, not of the standard American diet which we're used to eating, those foods unfortunately really cause inflammation in the gut. When you have inflammation in the gut, you see the gut and brain are connected from before we are born. They arise from the exact same cells in the human embryo, and then they divide apart to form two organs and then are connected by the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. So when we eat in a way that affects one organ, it automatically affects the other. It just may take a little bit of time. So when we eat what I call pro-inflammatory foods or foods that are less healthy for us, this drives inflammation in the gut. It affects the gut microbes, the gut microbiome, and it leads to inflammation over time in the brain. All of this drives mental health symptoms. In fact, in conditions like depression, anxiety, cognitive disorders, and more, that underlying inflammation is actually thought to be more of a driving force now that we understand these pathways better.
Now, you mentioned, American diet, and I can definitely see when we go outside, it is very hard to avoid some of these foods. What are some
Yes.
practical ways to include fiber rich foods in our daily meals to improve our gut health and mood?
That's a great question. So it is hard to avoid those foods. And all we're saying is try to cut back, try to eat with awareness and mindfulness. But the first thing to fill up on fiber rich food is look at all the colors on this table. Vegetables, fruit, berries, all of these foods have different colors in them. And the colors, as well as fiber, are really important for our gut microbiome. Whole foods have fiber: vegetables, fruit, beans, nuts, seeds, legumes, and whole grains. But things like certain proteins, like animal and seafood proteins, don't actually contain fiber. So whatever you eat as your protein source, make sure you're filling up on those vegetables, leafy greens, your peppers, your tomatoes. All of that becomes critical. But also, if you're trying to maintain a sense of calm over the holidays, those fiber-filled foods will also help you.
Now, I understand there's a concept kind of titled calms. Can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit more about that, and how does it guide food choices for reducing stress?
So in my book, I talk about an anti-anxiety shopping list, a protocol that's easy to follow, as well as recipes. So one of the quick tips from the book is a mnemonic called CALMS, CALMS, just to try to think on the go about foods I want you to be thinking about adding in this holiday. The first C is for citrus. So, mandarins, oranges, lemons, limes. These citrus fruit give us vitamin C, critically important as something that we need to have in our body to keep a calm mind. The other C is for extra dark natural chocolate. Now we're talking about 70 or 75% of dark, and we're not talking about a candy bar, but these are great for you to help ease your anxiety over time. A little square goes a long way, and it's delicious with a piece of citrus fruit actually. Another C is for chickpeas. Buy them canned or whole, and if you buy the canned, rinse them out and use them. Great source of fiber, great source of plant-based protein, and also has tryptophan in it. So all of these three are super important. Vitamin C, chocolate, and vitamin C, chocolate, and the citrus fruit. So then we move to A. The A is for the anthocyanins, which is this beautiful blue color that is imparted to blueberries. So I'm going to suggest you add in a quarter cup of blueberries to your day. Also great for fiber and other nutrients that you need, and a great snack on the go. The second A is for ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha is an ancient Ayurvedic herb, and Kibin, it doesn't taste good. It's kind of bitter. So I'm going to suggest you to consider a powder supplement or a pill supplement. Make sure that you tell your doctor because they will know other medications you're taking as well. But ashwagandha has a good amount of evidence to help ease anxiety. Then we go on to L, and the L is for liquid. I'm going to suggest you make sure that you're drinking water, refill your water bottle at the mall, have a sustainable water bottle in the car so that you're hydrating. Because when you're dehydrated, you don't realize you actually feel much more anxious. So it's an easy tip that we can fix. Another way is tea. A passion flower tea is very calming to the mind and body. So it's another thing to try. Then the M is for more omega 3s, which you mentioned earlier, Kim, as well as magnesium. A lot of Americans don't get enough magnesium in their diet. Magnesium you can get from avocados, beans, legumes, and other foods, but more omega 3s you can get from salmon. So this is canned salmon. But I want you to think about whether you can get it into your seafood market, but canned also contains the omega 3s. It's just an option depending on what you eat and where you live. Another source of short chain omega 3s are flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts. So you can have those as well to up your game for omega 3s. The M, we finished the M and now we're going on to S. S is spices and herbs. And the spices and herbs here are very easy because, we're using so many fresh herbs for Thanksgiving. Leaning into spices is a great way to go because they don't have many calories, if any at all. And they flavor up our food, but they're rich in antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties that help across the board. So, add some turmeric with a pinch of black pepper to a soup, a smoothie, or a tea. Turmeric is this bright yellow spice, and have that as a way to help ease your anxiety over time.
And I love that we're having this conversation now because, as mentioned, we are coming up on the holiday season where, we tend to eat a lot with our family and our friends. How can we, kind of keep this stuff in mind while also partaking in some of these festivities?
Right. I definitely want people to enjoy the holidays. So I think about this as an 80-20 rule, a sense of sort of balance in life. Enjoy a piece of your grandmother or your mom's favorite pie. Enjoy the foods, but eat in moderation. But also, while you're doing that, fill up on, salads and vegetables and, a side of blueberries or have a little bit of fruit salad along with your dessert. These are ways that you can fill up on fiber-rich whole foods and still enjoy the festivities. The 80% of the time we try and eat healthy, and 20% of the time are the holidays. So make sure that you try to work on that balance. And if you think about it and are mindful about it, you're more likely to act on it.
Now, for those who are new to the idea of food as a tool for mental health, where do you suggest they start?
A good way to start, I have a mnemonic that I teach people. It's called SAW. The first SAW. S is for swap. If you've picked up an unhealthy habit, say in this late summer and going into fall, maybe think about stepping back from it. Maybe you started to eat ice cream every night. Maybe you stop drinking as much water. Whatever that might be, or maybe you ordering fast foods at work. Step back from that a little bit. So swap it out with a healthier choice. A is for add. It's so easy to add in these vegetables. Add these tomatoes to your salad. Add some peppers to a side dish or a roasted veggie dish. Have more citrus fruit. So add in healthy whole foods. Easiest one to add in are vegetables and things like berries. Nuts and seeds, very easy to do as well, and have them as healthy snacks. So by adding in these nourishing whole foods, you're getting the fiber you need, you are filling up and you're not going to be not going to be hungry. And therefore, when you are not hungry, you're not craving a candy bar when you're checking out at the supermarket, or you're not craving a snack when you go to the mall because you are more full and your body is satisfied. And then the third part of the mnemonic is W, and it's generic for walk. By walk, I mean any type of exercise, movement, even shopping, it gets you in some steps. So keep that in mind. It might be that you have a different form of exercise, yoga or something else, but keep moving because that's really helpful for your mental well-being.
Well, Doctor, I want to thank you so much for joining us. As I mentioned, this is so important during the season. So thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks, Kevin. Great to chat with you.
For more information, you can visit the website at umanaidoomd.com and follow her on social media at Dr. Uma Naidoo. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back with more open right after this.